Hi guys, it's Susan from Second Act. Happy New Year. Hope everyone had a wonderful holiday and New Year's, and it's really fun to be in 2017. Sorry, I am a hot mess today. I have come down with a cold. So I am still in my row. I'm just taking it easy, but I did want to knock this video out. I'm already 2 days late, and just wanted to make sure that I recorded this before I got my day going. So one of these times I will actually dress up for you and look halfway decent. I don't know why. I'm just always a hot mess when I make these. But today's actually even worse than normal. So let's get into stats. I had my VSG surgery September 27th, 2016. My high weight was 240. My surgery weight was 225. My current weight today is 198. My surgery was with Dr. Mark Zari in San Jose, California at Good Samaritan Hospital. So, if you've seen my video last week, you know that last week I had a 5 pound loss. I went from 201 to 196, which was really, really exciting. And I even stated in the video that I had no idea how I'd lost the 5 pounds because that for me is just incredible. And so, in my mind, I kind of had this sense that it was a sort of a false weight loss. And sure enough, the next day when I weighed myself again, I had jumped up by several pounds. I'm still under 200, so I was still in Wonderland, but I was at 198 or 199. So it didn't surprise me that I was at 198 today, this week. And I'm still fine with that because my goal was to be in Wonderland by 2017, and that happened. So that was exciting. But my last week was a little off, as I'm sure all of ours was, with the holiday and New Year's and that type of thing. And I watched several videos where people were just saying, I'm not going to worry about it. It's the holidays, and that's sort of the attitude I took too. I wasn't horrible by any means, and I even had a not a glass of champagne, maybe a couple sips was really all I could drink. I find that I can't drink that much bubbly, and I'm not really a wine drinker. And I haven't ventured into having things like margaritas. Oh, I did have a beer. That's right. I went to Bend, Oregon, which is like, craft beer capital of the world. And I did have, again, I probably only had a couple sips, though. I don't think I had there's no way I had a full glass. Actually, I think I just had some of my husband's now that I think about it. But anyway, needless to say, I definitely was not on my regular routine. And so because of that, I'm not surprised. I was hoping I was going to be at 196, so I would have at least stayed the same, but I'm fine with being at 198. And now that everything's back into the normal routine, it's kind of good, and I'm sure I'll get back on track. I did exercise a little this week. I got out and I used some weights for my arms, and I actually got on my elliptical machine and did a little elliptical. So I'm hoping to get a little more regular with doing that so I can start to build some muscle. So that was a good thing too, and I'm starting to try to drink more water. So it feels good to have the holidays over with now and to get back on track. And I'm sure we're kind of all feeling that way. I'm kind of hearing the same message throughout all the videos. So I don't think any of us need to feel bad if we've gained a couple pounds. I think the key is just getting back on track. So that's what I plan to do from this point forward. Um, so let's see here. What's happened? I think the nice thing, some NSVs for me is even though I wasn't perfect this past week when I did go back to work this week, I'm getting a lot of comments now. I think I'm just at that point where the weight loss is really starting to show. And so it's just fun to have people come up to me and say, gosh, you look great. And I have a question for you guys. Are you guys honest with your surgery, or what do you say to people? I've been honest. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I don't just walk into a room and blurt, "Oh, I've had VSG surgery." But what's happened is, as people have asked me, "Oh, are you losing weight?" And then if they go the next step and say, "What are you doing?" which happened to me this past week, At that point, I'll be honest and say, I had the VSG surgery, and I'll go into that. And most people just seem fascinated. I don't know. I'm not ashamed of it. It's not something, like I said, I'm not going to walk into a room and announce I've had it. But at the same time, I'm not ashamed of it. What my main reason for doing it was because of my health, the diabetes I had, the hypertension, the high cholesterol, and that all went away within a month. And when I tell people that, they are fascinated and they are just like, that is incredible. So, that's a huge gift that you can't overlook. So for that reason, I am honest with people. But again, I don't just divvy it up. If someone says to me, what are you doing? What plan are you on? That type of thing. Then I let them know. But, as we all know, all of us who have had the surgery, you still have to eat right. There's still a matter of discipline involved in it. You still have to make sure that you make the right choices. So for that reason, I am not ashamed whatsoever. And I'm just curious if the rest of you feel the same way, or what you say to people if you don't want to let them know you had the surgery. Because there might be somebody who asks me at some point who I don't really feel needs to know I had the surgery. Um, and then maybe I want to say something else. So I'd be curious to hear what you guys say if people ask you, what you're doing. But anyway, that has been a nice NSV to start getting the comments, because, there gets a point where, things slow down for you a little bit. Or for me, it's kind of been a slow process the whole way. So I don't worry too much about it. But, it's just nice to get that encouragement to know that it's showing when maybe you don't quite see it yourself. My husband tells me all the time that I look great, and, he starts telling me to not get too skinny, but I keep telling him someone at 198 is not too skinny, and I know that, but he was supportive of me when I was at 240 pounds as well, and told me how beautiful I was then. So, with him, I kind of take what he says with a grain of salt, but that's okay. He loves me, and I know he does. But it's nice to hear it from people you don't expect to hear it from. So that is very nice. But I will say some other NSVs that were so exciting to me is over the holidays. Like I said, I traveled. So I had to, get on a plane and go. And you guys all know what I'm talking about. It was so nice. Even at 198, it was so nice to be able to fit comfortably in an airline seat. It's still, those airline seats are so tight and cramped, and all the flights are cramped now. I mean, there used to be a time where you could fly and you might not have someone sitting next to you. These flights now, especially during the holidays, I mean, the planes are packed. And it was so nice to not feel like I was squeezed into my seat like I, had been before at 240 pounds. The 40 pounds really made a difference where I was comfortably in my seat. And I was sitting next to, some big guys. My husband's 6'4" and 240 pounds. I had another guy sitting next to me that was, I don't even know how, he was taller than my husband, I think. So he must have been 6'5", 6'6", and not fat guy, but just, broad shoulders and stuff. And, if I had still been at 240, that would have been a really uncomfortable ride. And so it just felt good to be comfortable in that airline seat. So that was a big NSV, and you don't realize it until you get on the plane and you sit down and you're like, wow, this is comfortable. And the other thing is, my husband and I go to a lot of hockey games here, the San Jose Shark games, and same thing with the stadium seats. The stadium seats are fairly small. And especially the seats we were at were kind of at the end, and one seat is really small because it's kind of at an angle, and the second seat isn't much larger. And you constantly, have to get up and sit down and get up and sit down as people walk by you. And it was so uncomfortable before, I would be literally caught in my seat, and you kind of had to push yourself up. And so it's so nice. That 40 pounds makes such a difference in, being able to get up and get down easily. So those were some fun NSVs to kind of discover this last past week. So that was fun. So other than that, everything else went pretty good. I just, I'm still making good food choices in the sense that I've still been able to stay away from the sweets and that type of thing. Went to work this week and there's just residual candy everywhere still, but I just have not had an issue with that. So I'm kind of proud of myself for that, for staying away, because I wasn't sure how I was going to fare through the holidays, if it was going to be so tempting that I would start, eating a bite here or there. But I did pretty well, so I'm happy with myself for that. So I know that we're all excited to start 2017 and get back on track. And, I'm looking forward to all of us supporting one another and revving ourselves up again for, doing well and starting this year off with a bang. And I'm really looking forward to 2017. I think it's going to be a great year. I think there's some exciting things down the road for myself anyway. I'm hoping, and I'm hoping there are great things down the road for you as well. And how can there not be if we stay on our journey and, get closer to our goals? So that was just a quick check-in from me today. And I will check in again next week with you guys, and hopefully we'll all have lost that holiday weight and maybe another pound or two, and get on the road to a successful 2017. So thanks, you guys. Have a great week. Love you, and I am so grateful for my new subscribers. I'm so grateful for your support and comments, and I'm going to try to get back on track on looking at the videos and making my comments on your videos as well. All right, guys, take care. Bye.